Okay, welcome again. Welcome to a new class. Yes, sir. Welcome to class number 78. Miento. I'm sorry. Welcome to class number 178. If this is class 78, me muero ya a estas alturas. Come on, this is class 178, which means we have 17 or 18 classes left. So we still have a lot of work, but we're getting closer and closer, little by little, step by step. We are making progress, and we're slowly approaching the end of the beginning, because this program is for beginners, for the basic program. So we are slowly approaching the end of the beginning, el final del principio. Okay? Then we need to begin the intermediate and to go through that. And then significa después. And then we need to start the advanced. So, my friend, you have a lot of work ahead of you. Me no. Huh. I don't, but you do. You have a lot of work ahead of you. But I will be your teacher in the next segment, in the next section too. The intermediate program, I'll be your teacher, and the others the same. And in the following, the same. So, you can expect to continue hearing my voice, my teaching, and I'm sorry, my sermons too. Mis sermones también. Okay, program number 178, review of 177. Camera 1, please. All right. I read, when I was a teenager, I read a lot of books. A lot of books. I read The Godfather. My God. Yes, I read The Godfather before the movie. I read The Godfather in about 1969, and I saw the movie in 1972 or 73. I read, yes. And when I was 20, I read Don Quixote. But when I was 16, I read Moby Dick. When I was 22, yes, I remember perfectly. When I was 22, I read The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. Yes, I read it in Almonacid de Zorita, in Guadalajara. I read it in a small room I was renting in La Plaza del Coso. Okay, number 5. I don't remember the number. I read it in a small room I was renting. I was working in that area. And I read Dostoevsky in Spanish. I read it in Spanish. I didn't read it in English. I read 100 Years of Solitude by Garcia Marquez. I read 100 Years of Solitude when I was 20 or 21. No, when I was 21. I read it 3 times. I read it twice in English. I read it twice in Spanish. And I read it once in the English translation. In my opinion, a very good translation. Except the title. I don't agree with the title, 100 Years of Solitude. I prefer 100 Years of Loneliness. Okay? Because in English, solitude es soledad buscada y deseada. Loneliness is la soledad que nadie quiere. Falta de amigos. Okay? Loneliness. Falta de comunicación. Yes. So, yes, I read it. I read 100 Years of Solitude 3 times. Yeah. Now, I read La Celestina twice. I read it once when I was 21. And I read it a second time when I was 22. Yeah. And I read the Book of Good Love, El Libro del Buen Amor. I read it twice. I read it once when I was 20 in Spain, and I read it once when I was 21 in the United States in the university. Okay? Now, I read El Árbol de la Ciencia by Pío Baroja twice. I read it once in 1973, and I read it a second time, probably in 1990 or 1991. Okay? And I read Don Juan Tenorio once, only once. I read it, I think when I was 22. I read it. And it was good. I like it. It's a very good poem by Zorrilla. Don Juan Tenorio. Very funny. Beautiful rhyme. El ritmo. The cadence is fantastic. I read it once, but I want to read it again. Now at my age, to appreciate it in a different way. I liked it. I liked it before. When I read it, I liked it. And now, many years later, I want to read it again when I have time. Okay, when I have time. I read Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. In Spanish, you say Grandes Esperanzas. I read Great Expectations when I was 13 or 14 years old. Yes, I read it when I was very young, but I remember it very well. It's an excellent book. Excellent book. I recommend it. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. It's a fantastic book. It's a fantastic story. I read it when I was only 13 or 14, but I'll never forget it. I read it in secondary school. It was part of the assignments, part of the curriculum, the study plan in secondary school, in English language and literature. And I read Great Expectations, and I liked it. I read The Last of the Mohicans when I was 13 or 14 too, by James Fenimore Cooper. I read it in school. Now I remember perfectly, I read The Scarlet Letter, La Letra Escarlata. I read The Scarlet Letter when I was 14. Yes, I read it in class as part of a school project. It's a difficult book to read if you're 14, but I read it, and I read it from start to finish. I read it from beginning to end. I read it. I read it. Lo leí. Lo leo. I read it. Lo leí. I read it. Okay? I read many novels when I was a teenager. I read many novels when I was 8 and 9 and 10 years old. But novels for children, the Hardy Boys, novels typically for young people. I read a lot. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Layla. Today we're going to do a review class, and to do it with me, Esther is here. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, Layla. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you ready to practice?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. At home, are you ready to practice? Yeah? Okay, then let's go. The first part is the verb read. Okay, so the verb read. Every day I read. Yesterday I
read.
Very good. Okay, it's very important. It's spelled exactly the same, but the pronunciation is completely different. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you some questions, and you have to use the verb read in the past, okay?
Okay.
So, did you read any books last year?
Yes, I read some books last year.
Good, okay. Yes, I read some. Okay, now just imagine that the answer were negative.
No, I didn't read any book last year.
Any?
Book last year. Any books last year?
Yeah, okay, so good. Positive, some, negative, any. And remember that if we use any or some and the noun is countable, we always need the
S
at the end. Very good. Okay, so one more time. Did you read any books last year?
No, I didn't read any books last year.
Tell me in the positive. Sorry. It was just so that they could see the difference.
Yes, I read some books last year.
When?
Some books last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
I want to hear that T.
Yes, I read some books last year.
Last year.
Last year.
There you go. Okay. How many books did you read last year?
Last year I read 10 books.
Okay. Last year I read 10 books. Or I read 10 books last year, right? You can say it both ways, okay? So say it one more time for me, but with the second form.
I read 10 books last year.
Good, okay. All right. Ask me how many books I read last year.
How many books did you read last year?
The T at the end of last?
Last year.
Last year.
Last year.
Okay, good. All right, so what does she want to know? She wants to know how many books I read last year. Last year, I read 20 books. Okay? Now, did your sister read any novels?
Yes, my sister read a novel.
Any novels?
Yes, my sister read some novels.
Good. Okay, I mean, unless it's only one, right? But I imagine that it's
Yes.
more. Okay, good. How many novels did your sister read?
She read 5 novels.
Okay, good. Did you read any magazines last month?
Yes, I read some magazines
When?
last month.
Okay, one more time, and remember to say the T for me.
Yes, I read some magazines last month.
Good. Okay, last month, right? Okay, good. How many magazines did you read last month?
Last month, I read 2 magazines.
Good. Okay, so how many magazines did she read last month? She read 2 magazines last month. Okay, so remember, every day I read. Yesterday I
Read.
Good. Okay, so next part is I don't know plus where plus subject plus verb. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions and I want you to answer all of them in the negative.
Okay.
Okay? And at home, the same thing. Okay, so remember that with the verb know, the verb to be goes at the end.
At the end.
Okay? So, do you know where my brother is?
No, I don't know where.
I what?
I don't.
don't.
I don't know where your brother is.
Good, okay? So remember, do not contract it is don't. It's like an OU sound, don't. Okay? So I'm going to have Esther say it just one more time for me, and at home, remember to always practice out loud, okay? So one more time, Esther. Do you know where my brother is?
No, I don't know where your brother is.
Okay, good, but the T, I don't.
I don't know where your brother is.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Do you know where George Clooney lives? I know she's a George Clooney fan.
No, I don't know where George Clooney lives.
Okay, good. Do you know where? Do you know what? Sorry. Do you know? No, yeah. Do you know where your neighbor eats?
No, I don't know where my neighbor is.
Eats. Eats. Where he eats.
Yes, sorry.
It's okay.
No, I don't know where. No, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
know what my neighbor.
Where? No, because
where?
we're using where. No, that was
Yes.
my instinct as well. Okay, but it's where.
No, I don't know where my neighbor is.
Okay, good. All right. Do you know where my dad works?
No, I don't know where.
I don't.
I don't know where your
Dad.
dad works.
Okay, good. Now tell me one more time with a little bit more confidence.
No, I don't know where your dad works.
Okay, good. Does she know where my dad works? No. She doesn't know where my dad works. Okay? So remember that with the verb know, the other verb is always inverted, okay? It goes at the end, okay? So, well done, Esther. Very, very, very well done, okay? But I'm just going to ask you one more time.
Okay.
Okay? Do you know where George Clooney's house is?
No, I don't know where George Clooney's house is.
George Clooney's.
George Clooney's house is.
Okay, all right, so she doesn't know.
No.
All right, so that's it. We don't have any more time, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.
All right, welcome back. Do you know where? Continuing a bit on what we did yesterday, let's go to camera number 1. Do you know where I lived when I first came to Spain? Do you know where I lived when I came to Spain? No, Richard, I don't know where you lived. Well, the first place I lived when I came to Spain was in the University of Barcelona along the Diagonal, which at that time wasn't called the Diagonal. It was called the typically Avenida Generalissimo. all right, in Barcelona. Do you know where I lived after I came to Madrid? No, I don't know where you lived after you came to Madrid. Well, I lived for 3 weeks in the Colegio Mayor José Antonio after I came to. This is 1972. This was during the Franco era. Franco was still alive when I came to Spain. Yes, before Maria was born. A long time before Maria was born. Maria was still a butterfly. Okay, yes, when I came to Spain. And do you know where I lived after I left the Colegio Mayor, the student residence? No, Richard, I don't know where you lived after you left the student residence. Well, ask me, where did you live after you left the student residence? I lived on Pintor Rosales Street. Very high-class street. Yes. I didn't know it was a high-class street. I found an apartment. Yes. I and 3 other students together, 4 students together, we found an apartment on Rosales Street. Yes. In 1972. Now, do you know how much it cost? Do you know how much the rent was? Do you know how much the rent was? No, Richard. On Rosales. Expensive. Yeah, ask me. Ask me how much the rent was. Do you want me to ask you how much the rent was? Yes. Ask me how much the rent was. On Rosales. Yes. How much was the rent? The rent was only about 50 euros a month. 12,000 pesetas a month. Yes. About 50 euros a month. Yes. Divided by 4 people. So I was paying only about 12 or 13 euros a month to live in a nice, small but nice 2-bedroom apartment on Rosales. Apartamento interior, no exterior. Okay. But still aquí no es todavía, pero aún así. But still, it's very good. Okay. And ask me where I lived after that. Richard, where did you live after that? After that, I lived on Doctor Izquierdo Street in Madrid. Yeah. I lived there for about 5 months. All right. Ask me where I parked my car before this class. Or where did you park your car before this class? I parked it outside, in front of this building, delante de este edificio, in front of this building. I parked it outside, in front of this building. Do you know where I met my wife? No, I don't, Richard. I don't know where you met your wife. You don't know where I met my wife? Well, ask me. Or where did you meet your wife? I met my wife in a small language school on a street between Calle Mayor and the Plaza Mayor, a little connecting street. And do you know where we got married? My wife and I? No, I don't know where you got married. Well, ask me, where did you get married? We got married in Madrid. Do you know where we went? Do you know where we went on our honeymoon? No, I don't know where you went on your honeymoon. Ask me, oh, where did you go on your honeymoon? We went to Madeira, the Portuguese island. Do you know where my wife lives now? Well, I think I know where your wife lives now. Well, ask me. Richard, where does your wife live now? She lives with me. We still live together after all these years. Yes. And do you know where my daughter lives? No, I don't know where your daughter lives. Well, ask me. Where does your daughter live? She lives in Madrid, but not with me and my wife. Do you know where my son lives? No, I don't, Richard. I don't know where your son lives. Fijaos, aquí no hay verbo auxiliar. Bueno, sí hay con I don't know. I don't know where your son lives. Well, ask me. Where does your son live? He lives in Florida, in Orlando. Yes. Do you know what he does in Orlando? No, I don't. I don't know what he does in Orlando. Well, ask me what he does. Well, what does he do? What does he do? What does your son do in Orlando? He studies. Yeah. Do you know where he studies? Well, probably in a university, the University of Orlando. Nope. Nope, he doesn't. Do you know where he studies? No, I don't, Richard. I don't know where he studies. Well, ask me. Where does your son study? He studies in a special school for animated cartoon design. 3D, 3D, animated cartoon. Do you know where he lives? Well, yes, he lives in Orlando. Yes, but do you know where he lives specifically in Orlando? No, I don't. I don't know where he lives. I don't know where he lives in Orlando. Ask me. Well, where does your son live in Orlando? He lives in an apartment complex. He lives in an apartment complex about within walking distance of the university. Within walking distance of the university, which means he can walk there. He doesn't need a car. All right. Our sponsors have a few words to say, so I have to stop for a moment, but I'll be right back. Okay. Question, do you know where Maria is from? You don't? Well, ask me. Excuse me, where is Maria from? She's from Almeria. Do you know where she lives now? No, I don't. I don't know where she lives now. Well, ask me where she lives now. Oh, where does Maria live now? She lives in a mansion in Puerto Hierro, okay, in Madrid. Yes. Do you know where she goes in the summer on vacation? No, I don't. I don't know where she goes on vacation in the summer. Well, ask me. Where does Maria go in the summer? Well, sometimes she goes to Rio in Brazil. Sometimes she goes to San Moritz in Switzerland. Sometimes she goes to Biarritz in France. Sometimes she goes to Estoril in Portugal. She goes to good places. That's where she goes. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello, my name's David Wardell, and today I'm with a very special guest. Pilar. How are you today, Pilar?
Fine, and you, David?
I'm okay. Yeah,
Okay.
not bad. No estoy mal. Estoy
Okay.
bien. Today we're going to look at a structure. Vamos a mirar una estructura muy interesante. It's do you know where, más sujeto, más verbo.
Okay.
¿Ya? ¿Entiendes?
Sí, ¿dónde está?
¿Sabes dónde está bla bla bla? ¿Sabes
eso.
dónde está bla bla bla? Yeah? So let's have a look. Or ¿sabes dónde vive? ¿Sabes dónde trabaja?
Okay.
Yeah, estas cosas. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Voy a hacerte algunas preguntas. No voy a hacerte. Tú me vas a hacer preguntas.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, so for example, ask me if I know where my boss lives. Ask me if I know where my boss lives in casa. A ver. Muy bien. Okay. Ask me if I know where my boss lives. Estás pensando, ¿no?
Sí, porque hay que...
Uy, hay que...
Yes.
A ver.
Do you know where your boss lives?
Muy bien. Lives. Muy corto. Lives. Not leaves. Leaves es salir.
Okay. Do you know where your boss lives?
Lives. Muy bien. Do you know where your boss lives? Repeat one more time.
Do you know where your boss lives?
Good. Excellent. Yes, I know where my boss lives. Or, no, I don't know where my boss lives. Okay, the next one. En casa. A ver. Ask me if I know where you work. Where you work. Not work, but work. Ask me if I know where you work. A ver. Very good. Pilar. Ask me if I know where you work. Work. Trabajar, not andar. Work.
Okay.
A ver, si puedes hacerlo. A ver.
Do you know where I work?
Muy bien. Work. Work, not walk. Walk is andar. Yeah? One more time.
Do you know?
Do know.
No, do.
Do. Explosivo. Do. Con la lengua arriba. Do.
Okay. Do you know where I work?
Very good. Do you know where I work? Do you know where I work? En casa, repítalo. Do you know where I work? Very good. Do you know where I work? Do you know where I work? Another one. Ask me if I know where they live. Ask me if I know where they live. They live. Yeah, not leave. Again, it's live. A ver. Very good. Ask me if I know where they live.
Do you know? No,
do.
you're not.
Do.
Okay.
Ah.
Do you know where they live?
Okay, repeat.
Do you know where they live?
Brilliant. Perfecto. Muchas
thank you.
gracias. Again, en casa. Do you know where they live? Do you know where they live? Repeat. Very good. Do you know where they live? Let's do the next one. The next one, la próxima. Ask me if I know where you parked yesterday. Ask me if I know where you parked yesterday. A ver. Very good. Ask me if I know where you parked yesterday.
Okay. Do you know where I parked yesterday?
Very good. Repeat.
Do you know where I parked yesterday?
Muy bien. Mira, el sonido de la D no es muy importante, claro. La pronunciación es una cosa que se hace entender mejor, esas cosas, pero no te preocupes tanto, you know. Pero yo voy a ser muy estricto, pero no pasa nada si dices do. Pero a veces es más difícil entenderlo, yeah?
Okay.
Do. Pero no pasa nada, yeah?
Okay.
No es lo más importante del inglés, la pronunciación.
Okay.
So, very good. So, ask me if I know where you parked yesterday again. Very good. Do you know where I parked yesterday? Do you know where I parked yesterday? Next one. Ask me if I know where she ate last night. Where she ate last night. A ver. Good. Ask me if I know where she ate last night.
Do you know where she ate last night?
Very good. Do you know where she ate last night? Repeat.
Do you know where she ate last night?
Muy bien. ¿Dónde comió, no? Ella.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Where she ate, or yeah.
¿Dónde
sí.
comió?
¿Dónde comió? Ate. Eat, ate.
Eaten.
Eaten. Well, vamos a ver esto un poco más tarde, pero eat and ate. The pasado is ate. Comer. Okay, ask me if I know where he teaches. Ask me if I know where he teaches. Venga. Very good. Ask me if I know where he teaches.
Do you know where it teaches? Teaches.
Listen again. Ask me if I know where he teaches.
Do you know where he teaches?
Very good. Repeat.
Do you know where he teaches?
Teaches.
Teaches.
Again, teaches.
Do you know where he teaches?
Teaches.
Teaches.
Así, este sonido.
Okay.
Teaches.
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 Okay.
Again, one more time. Do you know where he teaches?
Do you know where he teaches?
Mejor, mejor. Yes, I know where he teaches, or I don't know where he teaches. Next one. Ask me if I know where we are. Ask me if I know where we are. Very good. Ask me if I know where we are.
Do you know where we are?
Good. Repeat.
Do you know where we are?
Very good. Otra vez.
Do you know where we are?
Very good. Ahora 5 veces.
Do you know where we are?
Good.
Do you know where we are?
Good. Even better.
Do you know where we are?
Mejor.
Do you know where we are?
Una vez más.
Do you know where we are?
Very good. Do you know where we are? Do you know where we are? Do you know where are we? Suena horrible. Horrible.
Okay.
Do you know where we are? Do you know where we are? Hay que aprender estos sonidos. Do you know where we are? Do you know where we are? Yes, I know where we are. We're in Spain.
Okay.
In España. Good.
Yes.
Okay, the next one. Ask me if I know where you live. A ver. Very good. Ask me if I know where you live.
Do you know where I live?
Repeat.
Do you know where I live?
Do you know where I live? Muy bien. Una vez más.
Do you know where I live?
Do you know where I live? Yes, I know where you live, or no, I don't know where you live. One more. Ask me if I know where they went yesterday. A ver. Very good. Ask me if I know where they went yesterday.
Do you know where they went yesterday?
Repeat.
Do you know where we went yesterday?
They.
Ah, yes, verdad. Do you know where they went yesterday?
No, I don't, but I do know we have finished. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Hemos terminado. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Pilar.
Thank
Hasta
you.
luego.
All right, welcome back. You know, when I came to Spain for the first time in my life, in 1972, when I was 20 years old, in 1972, yes, I was 20 when I came. One of the first expressions I learned in Spanish, I came with an intermediate level of Spanish, but academic, classroom Spanish. When I came here, I needed to acquire real Spanish, survival Spanish. And it's interesting that one of the first expressions I learned was ¿de qué se trata? O ¿de qué trata? ¿De qué trata el libro? ¿De qué se trata el asunto? ¿Qué pasa aquí? ¿De qué se trata? Okay? Y el libro o la película, ¿de qué trata? El tema, etc. It's interesting, it was one of the first times, because you need to use these. In English, it's very easy. What's the book about? Let's go to camera one and focus on this expression, to be about. Camera one, please. All right. 100 Years of Solitude is a book that was written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez in 1968, I think. 1967, 1968, maybe 1969, I don't remember. Now, what's it about? What is the book about? What's the book about? What is the book about? What's the book about? What's it about? What is it? ¿De qué se trata? ¿De qué trata? What's it about? What's it about? It's about several generations of an interesting family in a small town in Colombia called Macondo, a town that doesn't exist. It's a mythical town, similar to Aracataca, the town where Garcia Marquez is from. But it's a small town, and it's the story of several generations. The Buendia family, Arcadio and Aureliano Buendia, the first. And it follows the story. That's what's the book about. The book is about an interesting family and typical the history of Colombia, which is similar to the history of most nations in Central and South America. It's a very good book. I recommend it. Now, do you know what Moby Do you know what Moby Dick is about? Moby Dick. Yes. Do you know what Moby Dick is about? Yes. It's about a white whale. Una ballena blanca. Yes. It's about a white whale and the effort the captain makes to capture and kill the white whale. And he doesn't kill it. The white whale kills him. Okay. That's what the book is about. Do you know what the Brothers Karamazov is about? No, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. What is it about? What's it about? The Brothers Karamazov. It's about a family, a father and his 3 sons. Each son is very different, and each son is a personification of a typical Russian personality, and the father too. And it's about the Russian personality, the character of the Russian people, and the problems of Russia in the 19th century, and questions of existential doubts as well. Answers, an attempt by Dostoevsky to answer questions. That's what the book about. That's what it's about. Now, do you know what Hamlet? Of course, Hamlet is very famous. It's a very famous play. But do you know what the play is about? Play, por cierto, es jugar como verbo, to play, pero también es una obra dramática, una obra de teatro, a play. Do you know what the play is about? Hamlet? Not really. I don't know exactly what the play is about. The play of Hamlet is about the death of a king, the murder of a king by his brother. And the brother supplants the king. And Hamlet is the son of the king. And the ghost of his father comes back and tells him what happened. And then Hamlet, the rest of the story is about Hamlet and his doubts, his hesitations, sus dudas, trying to make decisions. It's a tragedy about vacillation, hesitation. It's very frustrating, yes. So, do you know what Don Quixote de la Mancha is about? Yes, I know what it's about. Well, what is it about? It's about a crazy knight. Caballero errante, yes. A knight errant, a crazy knight, trying to do good deeds, hacer buenas obras, desfacer entuertos, enderezar entuertos. Yes, that's Don Quixote, trying to help people, but he's crazy. He and his sidekick, Sancho Panza. Okay? I know what it's about. I know what it's about. Okay? Do you know what Don Juan Tenorio is about? Yes, I know what Don Juan Tenorio is about. It's about a playboy of the 19th century or before whose life is to conquer women, conquests, and then he meets Doña Inés, okay? I think it's Doña Inés. And he falls in love, and she saves him. He gains salvation through love, okay? Don Juan. It's an interesting story. Now, do you know what? Do you know what The Godfather is about? Yes. It's about a mafia family. 2 or 3 generations, especially 2 generations of a mafia family in New York City and then Las Vegas, okay? Yes, I know what The Godfather is about, okay? Do you know what this program is about? Yes, Richard, I know what this program is about. Well, what's it about? It's about my English. Yes, this program is about your English, about your effort to change your qualifications, to add a new qualification to your abilities, to increase your abilities. That's what this program is about. This program isn't about anything else. This program isn't about irregular verbs. It's not about the past tense. It's not about the present tense or the conditionals or vocabulary. This program is about you. You are the protagonist in this book. Yes. And your English is the protagonist to improve it. That's what this show is about. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello, there you are. Welcome, welcome. My name is Alberto Alonso, and you're watching... No, this is not Vaughan en Vivo. No, it's not Rumbo al Inglés. This is Vaughan Inglés 4.0. That's right. You know it. You've been following, I hope. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with a special student, a very special student who has a tremendous pronunciation. Well, when I first met her, her pronunciation wasn't as good. But now, it's improving. And I notice it. Me doy cuenta. So, and I know what her secret is. Her secret is she studies. She makes an effort. And she's the proof. Ella es la prueba. That if you practice and make an effort, you will improve tremendously. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome that special student, Pilar. Hello, Pilar. How are you?
What? Fine.
Okay. Porque no me podía, ya le dije, no quiero que me digas fine and you. Porque eso es la más usada. Oh, okay, not bad.
Not bad.
Esto es, not bad.
Not bad.
And yourself? También, not bad.
yourself?
And yourself? Yo siempre le doy la vuelta a la pregunta.
Okay.
How are you? Fine. And you?
Okay.
Pero el fine and you lo hemos oído todos y desde el colegio y todo, 1000 veces. So, find different things to say. Y claro, dependiendo de la gente con quien estás hablando. If you're speaking to your friends, it's different than if you're speaking to colleagues or someone else.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so ask me what we're going to look at today.
What are we going to look at today?
Okay, today we're going to look at some vocabulary, and then we're going to look at an expression.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to look at an expression or a way of asking a very common question. Okay?
Okay.
All right. The first word for today. Remember, en casa, en voz alta. You have to participate actively. Si no, ¿para qué? As you say. Okay, here we go. Darse prisa.
To hurry.
To hurry. So how do you say, date prisa?
Hurry up.
Hurry up. Le ponemos un up. Porque nos encantan las preposiciones. ¿Por qué? No sé yo, pero así va. Hurry up. Date prisa. That's what Sena's always telling me. She's like, Alberto, hurry up. 10 minutes on the vocabulary. Incredible. Hurry up. Okay, to hurry. ¿Hay otra palabra que es darse prisa? O estar deprisa. ¿Cómo se dice estoy voy con prisa?
I'm in a hurry.
I'm in a hurry. Y también se podría decir I'm in a rush.
Okay.
Okay, ask me if I'm in a hurry.
Are you in a hurry?
Yes, I am. Para practicarlo con rush también otra.
Are you in a rush?
Yeah, ask Sena if I'm in a rush. Yes, she told me I have like, what, 1 more minute for vocab. 1 more minute. So yeah, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a rush. We've got to do this quickly. Number 2. How do you say mandar?
To send.
To send. To send. Every day I send 100 emails. Yesterday?
I sent.
50 puntos.
Okay.
I'm speechless. Me quedo sin palabras. Okay? No, lo digo sinceramente. Porque, claro, cuando te conocí, when I met you, you had a decent level.
Yes.
But now I've noticed you're starting to rematar la faena. You're starting to finish your words very nicely. And do you notice it? ¿Te das cuenta tú de la
Yes,
diferencia?
I think so.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and I told Pilar, and many times I said, if you can speak English in front of a camera, then you can speak to people on the street, no problem. Right? So you have that advantage. Tienes ventaja.
Okay.
Yo ya hablé ante una cámara, right?
Okay.
Okay, so to send. Okay, and the third word is un sello. How do we say un sello?
A stamp.
Stamp. Okay, a stamp. You put a stamp. They love stamps in the Hacienda offices and these
Yes.
offices. They love stamps on everything. Everything has a stamp, right? All right. Next word. Ir de compras.
To go shopping.
To go shopping. Do you like to go shopping?
Yes, I like to go shopping.
I had no idea.
No?
I'm being sarcastic. I had a feeling. Algo me dijo that you like to go shopping.
Yes, I like to go shopping.
How often do you go shopping?
No, not very much.
Not too often. I don't go shopping very often.
I
Así
don't
practicamos.
go, claro, I don't go shopping very often.
Ask me how often I go shopping.
How often do you go shopping?
I go shopping once a year
Oh,
in the United States.
okay.
I go to the U.S. and I spend a lot of money, and I go shopping once a year
Okay.
because I buy, instead of paying triple for a pair of Converse, I pay, it's a different price
Yes.
in the United States. So,
Okay.
okay, so to go shopping. Y la última, piscina de nadar, si lo traducimos. piscina.
A swimming pool.
Swimming pool. Ahora, os explico algo. No hace falta decir swimming delante. No hace falta. Yo sé que te lo enseñan así en el colegio. Oh, we're going to the swimming pool. Vale, es totalmente bien. No hay problema con decir I'm going to the pool.
Okay.
How do you say voy a ir a nadar?
I'm going to swim.
Or I'm going swimming.
I'm going swimming.
Usamos el go más el ing para muchas cosas.
Okay.
I'm going shopping, como acabamos de ver.
Okay.
I'm going swimming. I'm going skiing. Entonces, to go más un verbo en ing es voy a ir a hacer alguna actividad.
Okay.
I'm going to go driving. I'm going to go riding. You like horses.
Yes, I like
To go riding. Montar
Okay.
a caballo, right? To go más el verbo en ing. Okay, and the swimming pool, que decimos pool. No hace falta swimming. Si quieres, hombre, dilo. Pero no hace falta. Okay, and how do you say billar?
pool.
Pool, igual. Pero se sabe del contexto cuál. Porque uno es to play pool y otro es to go to the pool.
Okay.
Okay? Now, let me ask you this. Muchas veces estamos hablando con gente y decimos, vi tal película, estaba buenísimo. ¿De qué va? ¿Cómo decimos de qué va? Si alguien te dice, sí, ¿de qué va? ¿De qué va la peli?
What's going on? No.
What's going on? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
No, entonces no sé. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. What is or was, se puede poner en cualquier tiempo dependiendo de la conversación. What is it about? What's it
Okay.
about? Okay, y si es una película que ya viste, es what was it about? O what is it about? Porque sigue siendo de eso,
Okay.
right? So how do you say, ¿de qué fue la película? ¿De qué fue la película? ¿De qué
It
iba?
was about policemen.
Yeah, it was about, era sobre policías. It was about.
Okay.
Okay? Ask me what Titanic was about.
What Titanic?
¿Dónde está el verbo?
What was
Ahora sí.
Titanic about?
What was Titanic about? Titanic was about a rich girl and a poor boy who fell in love, got on a boat, and the boat sunk.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Titanic. Ahí lo tienes. 3 horas. Te lo he ahorrado. Okay?
Yes.
All right. What is it about? Y libros, igual. How do you say de qué iba ese libro?
What the book is? What is the book about?
Eso es, porque tenemos que poner verbos, you
Yes,
know?
yes, yes.
What's the book about? What's the book about? What's the film about? ¿De qué va? Y si yo te digo a ti, ¿de qué vas? ¿Cómo digo eso?
What are you going about?
No.
What are you?
What are you talking about? ¿De qué vas?
Okay.
Okay, pero no decimos what are you about. Solo para películas, cosas así decimos what is it about or what was it about. Okay? And Sena is counting 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Ciao.
Okay. Continuing what I said before, what is this program about? Vago en Inglés 4.0, ¿de qué trata todo esto? What's this all about? What's this? What is this? Estoy haciendo una contracción. What's this all about? ¿De qué trata todo esto? Este tinglao. What's this all about? It's all about you and your need to improve your English. This program and this tinglado, as you say in Spanish, is about nothing else but you and your need to make an important change in your ability to communicate in English. If you're watching this program now, probably you're a basic student, not an advanced student. So you need to make a very special, persistent effort. That's what this is all about. It's about you and your effort.